Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Podcast presented by DraftKings, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up. Welcome to the pregame show. We'll be here for postgame afterwards. Hello to everybody in the chat. And hello to the pitch doctor, Brendan Miller.
He's here.
Cross-country flight.
Corey's been optioned. I've been called up.
Wow.
Someone has to get this team back on track. Corey's been in more often. Look what's happening. I'm here to save the season, Luke. Some people are saying that.
I didn't realize CHGO had this kind of money, but once the Cubs lost the second game to St. Louis,
they were like, red-eye flights.
Bring in Brendan.
I'm here.
Bring in Brendan.
I've saved Nico's hamstring. I've done a lot in 2 days.
The big question for me tonight to you, Brennan, is if the Cubs do, in fact, win, will you be doing a beer bat with me?
Yes.
Hell
absolutely.
yeah.
Now,
let's go.
You're going to make him wash it out, though, first, right?
No.
We only have one of the bats.
We have grit.
They go with the dirty bat.
Listen, I will do anything to win this game. If they lose this game tonight, it's gonna be a scene on this show. Like, this can't happen. So yeah, I'll do anything we need to do.
We brought in the hair all the way from California.
All the way.
Cody's got the great hair. Now he's got the great hair. And, I just wear a hat.
I need a haircut right now. That's why I've been wearing a hat lately. Yeah. But yeah.
Joey needs a haircut. We'll have the much-awaited and highly anticipated Who You Got picks coming up here in just a bit.
Highly.
We know. I mean, it's been a big buzz around town. I was in the city earlier, and I heard people talking about it. Michigan Ave. From Michigan Ave to the west side, people have been talking about it. Craig says there's an actual hitter in the 6-hole tonight. By the way, yes, Jan Gomes is back. Gary, he will be in the lineup tonight. I don't know if anybody took him in Who You Got. That's interesting. Does anybody...
Is it Joseph?
Joey, you taking Gomes?
That's his guy?
I am selecting Gomes officially. Thank you.
Are you taking him for 2 points?
Well, no, I don't even have 2 points to give. So I don't. No.
It doesn't matter. You just lose 2 games if you lose.
I do not want to go into the negatives, which I believe is only possible.
Have you won yet?
He's 0-1. No, he's 0-2. You're 0-2.
All right.
If you lose, then you'll just
0-2.
be 0-4.
Yeah, you just be 0-4.
Oh.
Yeah.
But if you
Well,
win...
yeah, throw 2 on him for me. Huh? Throw 2 on Gomesy for me.
Throwing 2, son. If Gomes has a big game, Joey technically moves into first place with a 500 record.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I
forgot it's about winning percentage.
But you have to have to compete in half the games to actually...
Yeah, I'm going to have a real good standing pick over the summer.
That's right. Yeah. Robbie says, I agree with Joey. Robbie, that is not how it works. I'll read it once, but that's not how it works.
He also says Brendan in 5 caps.
There
What's
you
up,
go.
dog?
What's up,
Luke,
Robbie?
Luke, Cody,
It's good to see ya.
Yo.
Yeah.
Robbie's always got the vibes, bro.
Yeah.
I
can
love
tell.
that guy.
I love Robbie too.
And we'll talk Cubs Cardinals in a second. What do you think? What do you think of
all this?
I mean,
the
first
setup?
time
You've
in the
never
studio.
been here. We've been on the air for over a year. You haven't stepped foot in the place.
Honestly, my adrenaline's pretty high right now. I got what people don't see, there's so many lights around here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm blinding my eyes with this. I got Joey.
ComEd Energy Efficiency Program.
Yeah, see, that's what
sign up for it.
Yeah. But this is a nice setup. I wish I could be here more often. I may quit my job tonight. This might be it. I might be here every single day.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Hopefully they're not listening to this, but yeah.
The pro for you is that in the dog days of winter, you're in California.
That's true.
And we're here.
That's
and
true.
I got to say, I'd rather be in your position then.
Well, you can always come
right.
to California and stay with me, Cody.
All right.
Yeah, not Corey, though. Corey's mostly mean to me, but you're okay. You can come.
Yeah, Brendan's not even here for us. He's for his real job. He's building the next space shuttle or whatever's going on over there.
Maybe there's a new
Aaron
planet
does
out there
say Brendan is a dog.
I'm a dog. I like that.
Dog.
I enjoy Brendan's
Robert
Twitter
says,
posts.
I agree with
Thank
everyone but Luke. Robert, that'll get you banned from the show real quick. Okay, Bob? Brendan has to understand that we stinks. Michael Collada. The Godfather has spoken.
Michael Collada, I know all about all that. Don't you worry. I know you are. And I see that new profile pic that, you got that lefty batting stance. I like it.
It is
good
nice.
form. I like it.
It is good form.
Yeah.
Big
Robbie's
fan.
picking Gomes for Who You Got. He agrees with Joey. Vanilla
Thank you,
Joe
Robbie.
agrees with me. I mean, the first 2 games have been disappointing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously very disappointing. If you would have told me this at the beginning of the season that the Cubs lose the first 2 games of this series to the Cardinals, I would have said, okay, but maybe they get one. Like, beating St. Louis won't be easy. But the Cardinals are off to such a horrendous start things are unraveling. Wilson's been turned into a DH.
Yeah. Happens.
Yeah. So now you try and we've been wondering, is Steele really an ace?
Yeah.
Is he? Stroman's pitched like an ace. Steele is pitched like an ace. Pitch doctor.
Yeah. You know,
I'll let you speak on this. Is he an ace?
Steele, in a good way, is very, very different than what we've seen in the past. Like I said on my show with Corey for years, he needs to develop a third pitch, needs to develop a fourth pitch. But what he's done over the past now year in a very large sample is really own in on his four-seam cut type fastball and that slider. And over the season last year in June, July, August, September, that stuff grade, how his stuff moves, got better. So it wasn't just like, I'm going to stick to 2 pitches. Those 2 pitches ended up being, from a stuff perspective, from horizontal movement difference off his fastball, in like the 90th percentile of all of sliders. And now the command's going with it. To me, he's very similar to that Chris Archer prototype that we saw years ago. Dominant 2-pitch guy. And, is he an ace? You've seen a large sample. You've seen the whiffs. You've seen the stuff to go with it. I can't convince myself that he's not this type of pitcher. Like, to me, this is someone who I'm not even looking at from like a numbers point of view after every game, because I just expect it at this point.
Yeah. You say Chris Archer, and you're talking, and I'm just going to assume young Chris Archer, and I'm like, all right, ace.
Not the Chris Archer that everybody's saying, hey, we should get Chris Archer after he wasn't Chris Archer anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Never forget all those years where we're like, we're going to get Chris Archer.
This is the season, Chris Archer and Whit Merrifield.
Him and Brian Roberts, too.
Brian Roberts, yes.
Don't even get me going with that. It's like psychological trauma.
One thing I've also heard about Steele is that, yes, he does throw people that, I'm not saying you don't know pitching. You obviously know pitching more than I do.
Sometimes.
He throws 2 pitches, but he throws each of those pitches like 5 different ways. So in reality, he's got 10 different pitches. He can use those. He has 2 pitches, but he uses them in such different ways.
Yeah.
And can throw them from a slightly different position and all of it. Like, he takes those 2 main pitches and turns them into 7, 8, 9 different pitches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not throwing forkball and this and that, but he's given enough different looks to those 2 pitches that are so good that hitters are still having trouble with it.
When you guys were talking to Steele and he was telling us, what made the difference, it was that fastball down and in that was prompted by John Lester nudging that idea, right? So what that allowed Steele to do, according to Steele, is when he's missing down and in, unintentionally up and away, that up and away fastball is playing up. So when you see him miss, they're competitive misses and they're leading to whiffs unintentionally. That is a sign of someone that you can rely upon when he's not at his best over the course of the season. So because of that, because of having those 2 dominant pitch types, over the long term, that's something to be encouraged about. Now, as he ages, we'll see. But in the current moment, he's exceeding my expectations. He's breaking all the computer projections. You can't project this guy. And what we've seen for the past now almost 30 starts is a dominant 2-pitch guy. So, yes, he is that ace at this point.
And somebody in the chat, if you go down just a little bit, this is what I was getting to when I started the conversation about ace. It was Marcus says if Steele shuts down the Cardinals tonight, he's an ace. And that's what we talked about last night, Cody. I said the ace is the guy that you say, man, we desperately need a win. We got to stop this streak. We got to stop the cold. And we need somebody to come out and just shove tonight. So much so that it doesn't matter that we only score 1 run. Now, Stroman almost did that, but Steele's got another shot to do it tonight.
Right. And to your point about the competitive misses with Steele, he's been awesome, but there's one start in there. I want to say it was against Miami where I felt like he wasn't his best that we've seen, and he's still only allowed 2 or 3 earned.
That's the point.
And so,
those are ace starts. It's not like when you're dominant. Like, of course, aces are dominant, but when they're off, they're still that good, right? That's the encouraging aspect.
Right. So, that's encouraging. The the one thing from the eye test of me that I've been saying
Dell
all year,
metrics.
the Dell metrics, yes,
Yeah.
is that when he hits adversity, the dude doesn't fall apart.
Yeah.
He finds a way. If he gives up a run, all right, he only gives up the one run. Like, especially if it, allows a leadoff runner, maybe walks a guy after that. He somehow, at least to start this year and just since the All-Star break of last year, like, he's just been finding ways to get out of jams really well. And the one thing I can say about pitching, the best ones,
You can say a lot, Cody.
the
you
best
can say it.
ones, they find a way to get out of those
Exactly.
jams more often than not. And that's what Steele's been doing, and that's why I feel confident with him out there for the Cubs. And I'm just really glad I didn't run him over with my bike. So
That's right. That could have been bad. Real bad.
So Cody did mention Dell metrics,
Yeah.
and I believe I
close to
pulled
the
this
anniversary.
from Fangraphs. Dell metrics. That is
this is
the vibes per hour graph.
comparing the heat map. Joey made a heat
love
map.
that.
Comparing
There it
That's
is.
perfect. Now,
Wow.
Luke, do you understand this heat map?
So
Yes,
so you
you
check
do.
out the
I
key on
like
the right.
this.
We got vibes per million,
I love
VPM.
this.
Pre-Brendan, post-Brendan.
See-
Actually, I don't understand.
Well, see, the vibes are much higher. They're,
Yes.
they're in the red levels. Post
Pre-game,
Brendan.
is this supposed to mean pre-game, or you're saying like
No, like
this is
pre
before
Brendan's
his arrival?
arrival. Like he wasn't
Before
here.
Now,
Our
post his
vibes are
arrival, the vibes are really loading
it's
up
a
with
lot of red.
red.
See, we got the
Yeah,
red,
yeah,
orange.
yeah.
Yep.
Now, here's what I would say,
I'm
Joey.
honored
Vibes
that
are
you did this.
immaculate.
Thank you.
This is why he's not the heat map guy, though. That should be flipped, because I want the
Yep.
pre on the
Yep,
left.
I know.
And,
I
Now,
know.
from a
I-
data
I don't want to be. I don't want to be a
perspective,
nitpicker.
It
but
was a
that's
little bit confusing for me too,
Yeah.
but I looked at it and I was like
backwards.
It
But,
always
but I didn't
have-
want to put pre. I didn't want to put post Brendan where the
That's right.
where the vibes are bad. So that was
right.
more
So,
important
well,
to me.
if you look at this in a mirror, it's a perfect graphic.
Yeah,
It is.
It's the
Thank you.
perfect heat map in a mirror.
It is.
So
It
hopefully
is.
the people watching on YouTube get it completely.
I
That's right.
believe vibes per million is an official Dell Metrics recognized stat.
I believe it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Sources say I'm the source.
Yeah.
And the way that you detect those are by bubbles at the top of the beer bat. How much foam is in the beer bat? Yeah, you count each bubble and then you divide it by
hopefully a lot.
You divide it by
Yeah,
nine. You divide it by
yeah.
9 innings is what I believe you do, and then that's how.
Corey tweeted at us. He did
Just
like
enjoy your vacation, Corey.
He took a
Leave me
screenshot.
alone.
He said he's
Aloha
on a
means stay.
beach, but he's watching us right now.
He's
Unbelievable.
watching from. You
Yeah.
think there's anybody else in Hawaii watching us right now?
No. Maybe.
There's one CHGO fan. He's a Bears fan that lives in
yeah?
Hawaii. So maybe.
This is the
Okay.
picture we need for the post game show. Corey, right now, I imagine on a beach in Hawaii. There's a luau off to the right. There's humpback whales and jumping out in the ocean. Right?
Dolphins.
Do they jump on
People are bringing over fresh fruit.
Yeah.
That's been picked from the fields. Yeah. The fisherman is coming in with their catch for dinner, and he's on his phone watching the Cubs.
Yeah.
By the way, beautiful and historic.
Beautiful and historic. Yes.
And
And I'm not wearing a White Sox shirt. I'm wearing the CHGO. I don't know what you call this one, Luke. Just like one of the
Flag.
the flag.
Chicago flag.
Flag stack, I believe
Yeah.
it won.
flag stack. Yeah, you
Every
get
time
these
I
both
like
at
to wear black, and people always in the chat are always like, "Why are you wearing White Sox gear, Cody?" It's like, no, I just like wearing the black
Right.
CHGO gear.
Well, it's allchgo.com. Check out the merch tab, and that's where you get these beauties.
I like-
By the way, if you sign up to be a diehard, either one of these would be free.
Yes.
Because you get your choice of a free shirt.
Absolutely.
I actually got my CHGO Bricks and Ivy, the other new one for this year,
Yeah.
Okay.
in the mail today.
Nice.
So I might break that out for tomorrow.
Dalmetric says your vibes are peaking, Luke.
By the bubbles, divided by 9.
Speaking of Dalmetrics, I like Vanilla Chill's comment that's up on the screen. Dalmetrics and
Spath
Spathmath
Math. I like
collaborating, truly good vibes happening.
This is the graphs we need.
Hell
we need
yeah.
more of these.
This is how we manifest a win tonight, because we need it in such a big way, guys.
For my own health. For our health.
for our health,
Yeah.
and for the, everyone in the chat, and honestly for the Cubs. And I'll say this: I felt like the good vibes were coming the moment I saw the Pirates and the Brewers lose this afternoon. So despite all the bad that's been happening, they can be 2.5 games out of the Central if they win tonight, going into an off day. And there's nothing better than going into an off day after a win.
God, I swear to God, if they lose this game, I keep saying this. I'm not going back. I'm not going on my flight tomorrow if they lose this game. I will stay here. I'm gonna get fired from my other stuff. I will stay here until they win this game.
My NASA thing.
Yeah, my NASA thing. Yeah.
He'll stay. He'll come on the off day show tomorrow,
Yeah.
and then he'll still be here Friday when they're playing in Minnesota, I guess.
Until I have that beer bat, I will be in this chair.
All right.
Yeah.
Robbie agrees with me in all caps. A naked guy has not been here. I kind of thought with you showing up that he might, make an appearance out there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
With you in town. Do you guys want the lineup? I didn't give the graphic to Joe.
Do I want the lineup?
Madrigal, Swanson,
I do not
Happ,
want the lineup.
Suzuki, Wisdom, Bellinger, Mancini, Gomes, Morel. How do you feel about A, Madrigal leading off? B, how do you feel about Seiya batting cleanup still?
Are you still banned from Madrigal slander?
Yes, I can't slander Madrigal until Saturday because I was at the game Saturday where he got the game-winning hit. It was the day after I was allowed to have Madrigal slander. Of course, he comes through. So now it's another week of no Madrigal slander from me. And honestly, I understand your perspective on Madrigal, but he's, defensively, at least at third, he's been way better than I think we all expected. And you just need the guy to get hits like he did last night. He had a good game last night. I'm not going to complain about him last night. But how do I feel about him at leadoff? Overall, it's just not. It wouldn't be my choice. This would be a choice like 15 years ago, in my opinion. But I just feel like he's better in the 9-hole if you're going to put him in the lineup.
Yeah. So I mean, if you this can go off the rails, but if we look at just bulk number of games, let's say you look at 20 game windows, right? You're laughing over here. 20 game.
Well, I'm laughing at somebody in the chat.
Okay. What are they? Is it the Daniel Norris comment? Is that what you're
No,
laughing at?
Gary Ross says, Luke, use your contacts and get Seiya lower in the order. I don't know.
I saw that. Do you have your readers on you, by the way? You do?
Right here.
Okay. Yeah.
But I don't. Those are too far away. That makes actually the
That's
chat
true.
blurry to me.
That's true.
It's only if it's right in front of my face.
So,
Anyway, sorry to interrupt.
back to Madrigal. If we look at just 20 game windows, right? Rather than looking at the individual game itself, if you expand it out, the overwhelming likelihood is that Madrigal getting those number of at-bats is going to lead to below average value. So his role, being a heavy contact guy, is probably best suited situationally, and definitely not in the case of giving the bulk majority of at-bats. Now, if you project this long term, if he continues at this pace, and I'm curious what the chat thinks about this, he's going to get 350 to 400 plate appearances. He's projected at this pace for value in the lower 10th percentile of the league. So if you expand it out, not on this singular game focus, it's not a good idea. It's not to say that Madrigal as a player himself is not useful. He is situationally. This is not the situation for Madrigal, and this is a critique on Ross that I do think is justified. I do think it's fair to question the process itself, because ultimately there's not much to suggest that this is the right way going forward.
What about him just being lead off tonight because Nico's hurt?
Science.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
what
You mean
about
just
him-
for tonight?
Just for tonight. One game at lead off. 2 games at lead off. He was there last night.
But how
too.
many times are we going to keep doing this? Oh, just one game. Let's just wait for, Mervis to come up. Let's just wait for Morel to come up. Like these one games, I always talk about this. The way I think about it, and I know you said this too, Cody, on a lot of these shows, is the margin for error is so slim. There is definitely a realistic chance that they miss the playoffs by 1 game, by 2 games, by 3 games. And if I have to go on a show in October and go back to May and look at these losses because we're using these types of lineups, I'm going to be distraught. So I don't want to risk any of these types of lineups. Maximize your value, and the counterpoint of let's just let these guys develop in AAA. You don't know that in and of itself is the right path forward for their development. So I have a hard time understanding it. Of course, we're just we're idiots talking about this, but what I do know is that you can't confidently project this sport at all. So unless the Cubs have something that we don't, that is so, impressive projection-wise, I don't understand this process.
Yeah, and that's kind of been a lot of what I've been saying is just putting the best 9 out in the lineup every day.
It's just that simple.
And whether there are days where you feel like they do, then it feels like you're putting guys in the wrong spot. Everyone's Gary, anyone else upset that Say is batting fourth.
Yeah.
Hell, people want Seiya to be benched. I don't think he needs to be benched, but I do think he needs to be lower in the lineup. Madrigal, I'd rather see him batting ninth and see someone like with Nico out. I would honestly wouldn't mind Ian Happ, or like I said on last night's show, putting Seiya in the leadoff because maybe that can kickstart him, just like Joe Madden used to do. But I'm not like high on it. It's just like an idea. But if it was up to me, Seiya would be lower. Madrigal would be batting somewhere in the bottom tier, and I with Nico out, I would put Happ in the leadoff.
Joey's got jokes over here. You see him saying, "Yeah, Mr. White, yay science."
I saw that. I know.
Yeah,
You
and
get
then
that
I
one?
got another one. Then who was saying? Gary's like, "Why are you laughing at me?" And
First of all, that was not joking. I was explaining that
right,
you were.
Gary, we were laughing at the fact that you think I have contacts with the Cubs.
I mean,
I'm just the village idiot sitting here.
We're all a bunch of village idiots.
Okay,
we have the
Barb's
genius
got
in
a
the middle and
question.
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah,
Beavis
so
and Butthead
I wouldn't
on
go
the
that
side.
far.
Speaking
I
of
wouldn't
which,
go that
we got
far.
Beavis and Butthead on the outside. I'll group myself in with that. Barb seems to recognize that. She said, "Ask the fellow in the middle why Morel isn't leading off."
Barb, I swear to God, I was going to mention that. I think Morel, what we saw last year, in all seriousness, what I liked what Ross did last year was leading off Morel, because what happened was he ended up developing a plate approach with a chase rate that was well above league average in a good way. He has a chase rate better than 75% of the batters. And Ross did carry with him in the leadoff spot for many games, and I thought that was good for his overall development. So if we're going to lead off anyone, I'm fine with Morel leading off.
Didn't he hit some leadoff in Iowa? I thought he was hitting leadoff in Iowa.
Yeah. And now he's batting 8th or 9th again tonight.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is why I'd rather have it the other way. Madrigal at the bottom, Morel at the top. It's the adage that's kind of gone here in sports recently. I want my best hitters hitting the most.
yes.
So I don't need Madrigal to get 5 at-bats tonight.
Yeah.
If that means Dansby's got to bat first, Dansby's got to bat first.
I'm fine with
I would
that.
be
Like,
okay
I'm
with that too.
Yeah.
But if you think your best hitter is your number 2 hitter and that's where you want Dansby, fine, then I would prefer Morel. Do I think it's a little overrated, the whole yes, but
Yeah.
It worked out.
I don't know if of all the guys on the Cubs, if somebody's going to get 5 at-bats tonight, I don't know if I want that guy to be.
Like I said,
Nick Madrigal.
Madrigal is if you're going
No
if you're
offense.
going to play Madrigal in the leadoff, he's just got to get hits, man. He's got to. He had 2 last night. Fine. I don't know.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not for it. It's not something that I want. I'd rather him be somewhere between 8 and 9. I feel like if he is going to be in the lineup, he's better in that
If it's
spot.
Game 7 of the World Series that the Cubs have won, by the way, in years past, I don't know if you guys remember that, but if it's Game 7 of the World Series, do you want Nick Madrigal leading off, like in a do-or-die situation, right?
Well, if they got there with him leading off, then perhaps.
maybe.
Ian Happ's a guy I'd be willing to have hit leadoff too, by the way.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I can understand like thinking of not wanting to do that with the routine and have settled in, so I understand that.
Yep.
All I
But-
can say is off day tomorrow. Hopefully they win, and then Nico is back in the lineup leading off on Friday. That's because based off what we've seen today, he's doing baseball activities. He's going to have an off day tomorrow. I'm optimistic he'll be in the lineup on Friday.
I need it.
Yes.
We all need it. We need Nico back and lead off.
The Cubs definitely need it.
It is a Chicago health hazard for everyone that his hamstring has been tight.
You know what we need? We need Cody's DraftKings pick of the night, or do you have a hits parlay for us?
Oh, yeah, we got the hit parlay stuck. I just tweeted it out if you didn't know. Tonight, I'm riding Christopher Morel. You can take Christopher Morel to just get a hit himself, single bet, minus 120. I don't understand it because was the hottest hitter in minor league baseball, and he's a righty, and Jordan Montgomery's a lefty. I don't get it. But the hit parlay has Morel. Trey Mancini, 34 career bats against Jordan Montgomery, mainly when he was with Baltimore and Montgomery was with the Yankees, batting well over 300 with a home run and a couple RBIs. So give me Trey Mancini. And then this is my own way of, if the hit parlay doesn't hit, I hope it's because of this. Paul Goldschmidt, and I only put him in there because he's been quiet this series. And
playing with fire, man.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
This is gambling, though, guys.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do things to make you feel better.
It's called emotional hedging.
Yes,
Yeah.
emotional hedging.
Flip that.
Last year, I on CHGO Bets Daily, I had this thing called the pain parlay.
Yes.
We did it every Cubs game
Yeah.
almost, all right?
If I have to suffer, I want to be paid for my
Yeah.
suffering.
Now, if you want me to substitute Goldschmidt out, I do like riding Swanson again tonight after what he did last
yeah.
night. So ride the hot hand with him if you don't want to ride Goldschmidt.
All right. I'm down with that.
I see Joey's working on
I
some
know,
of
I
the
can
fine
see that.
photos
Look
that
at
we're taking here
Look at-
for
look
the,
at that
the early
love right
embraces.
there. Yeah.
I actually have a great live version of Cody and Brendan hugging. It's got a little movement in it, that always adds to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's get to the who you got picks for tonight, which are very big. Cody, you took some of them down. Let me see what I got here. I'm trying to think who I took. Well, I took Bellinger.
Yes, and I'm going Mancini, a lot of for the reason that I just explained, that he has good numbers against Montgomery in his career.
So you put some thought into it.
Yeah. Brendan?
I got Dansby. How can I not have Dansby?
This is your first ever who you got pick.
I deserve to have Dansby.
Because you weren't allowed to have it.
I was not
until you
allowed.
actually stepped foot in the studio.
And Corey's not allowed to have a pick tonight. He's
Yeah,
been
because
options.
he optioned down.
An option
been
down.
However,
to Hawaii.
now
Or
that
Hawaii
because
affiliate.
for the longest time, the reason Brendan never had a who you got pick was because he'd never been to the studio.
Right. Which is
fair.
Now,
I understand.
Now that he's been in the studio, he can now be part of who you got moving forward.
Well, he's got a lot of catching up to do to
I
get
can do
to
it.
half of the votes for
I
the
can do
season,
it.
though.
I can do
Oh,
it.
and Ryan's going with Wisdom. I will not be taking Wisdom for 2 weeks because the last time I took him, he struck out 4 times.
That's only
fair. Man of integrity, big of me, credit to me for holding myself accountable.
Yeah. Thank you, Cody. We don't need that.
Big
Yes.
of me.
Barb says, get the guy in the middle of 3-1-2 if they win. Yes, Barb. He's gonna chug from the beer bag.
Listen, win or
He
lose.
said he'll chug from a dirty
this
beer
is going
bag.
to be either medicine or it's going to be a celebration drink. So either way, I'm having it.
And I've said if somehow the Cubs get down like 6-7 runs here in the second or third inning, we're going to go on down to Cone and get some cones.
We're going to need it.
Ice cream
I think
social.
Brendan's going to need it the
I'm
most.
going to be passed out. You
especially.
have to wake me up first.
That'd be your first cone trip this season?
That would be the first ice cream social of the season.
Right. I was
We've
just
had
gonna
nothing
get the
that
ice cream that's
depressing,
been
but
on
if,
the
man,
if they are on the verge of losing 3 to the Cardinals, I think we should go down there and check it out and see if they've got some mint chip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that has to get it going.
Unrelated, Niren, I saw your comment. I'm sorry my legs are a little white. This is what happens when you live in Chicago in
Mine
the
are
winter.
wider.
But the weather is too beautiful to not wear shorts.
Yeah.
So they're not this white. It's just the fact that we have 3 large lights pointing down on us.
They're white, but they're not this white.
I'm
which
even
is like
whiter
the
than that,
it's
man.
the underbelly of a trout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
White
my
truck.
that's my explanation to why this is the way
White
that
truck,
it is.
yes.
But at least you can tell the difference between my shoes and my legs.
Yeah.
So I just
right.
wanted to clear that up before we
Thank you.
finish this.
Yeah.
We can't let the show go too much longer because my seamless driver with my food is about to arrive.
And my food, too.
So
Yeah.
we can't let it go too long because we don't want that food to get turned around and head back somewhere.
Look at these
How about that?
photos.
Wow,
Those
that
are
was
awesome.
fast.
Man. Look at
that.
that
Boobo.
skyline. You got the Sears in the background right between us, Luke.
That really is nice.
Oh, man. I
like
love
the
that.
one
I
of you
also
and
love
Cody
the
on the
embrace
story.
between you two with the Jordan 1 on the wall because this place is a vibe.
That's
I
right.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I have to get that framed.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I got to say that might be the biggest smile I've had in a while. So
I'm going to start tearing up on this podcast. Look
It's
at
nice
this.
to know that you're still capable
Choked
of
up.
feeling happiness, Cody.
Choked up.
Oh, man. It's good to be here, guys.
Honestly, jokes aside, very cool moment.
Yeah.
Very cool moment, Brendan. It's
Yeah.
been great. I mean,
I wish
it's
you
cool
and I,
to meet you.
it's-
Like,
we have to get a picture too, Joe.
I know,
It's
but
so
it's
cool
just
that
cool.
Joey's
We've been-
going to leave right after this pregame show.
Great to meet you, but
Can't keep me
calm
here.
down.
It was great meeting you,
Exactly.
but somebody else
Yeah.
is going to do the post-game show, and
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
I don't make the schedule. I just, I just follow it.
Yeah.
no, Niren, I do not take it seriously. I was just talking. It's all good.
No,
Thank you for always being
this
here.
was awesome. Long time coming, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it's taking so long.
And I
He's
just
coming back,
can't.
I heard this
every
summer.
time I'm closing my eyes, I just think that the Nico Horner bobblehead is the one talking.
that is such a great
Looks-
compliment.
Looks a lot like him.
Honest to God, that's one of the best compliments I've ever gotten.
I know that you would like it, so that's
Yeah,
part
thank
of the
you,
reason
Joey.
that I said it. But
I know.
I didn't not mean it. I meant it.
I
Barb
appreciate
is
that.
asking if we have pictures from the rave party at Stuckey's.
No.
What?
rave.
When was the rave party?
Might even be tonight after the Cubs win.
My invite must have gotten lost in the mail.
That's right. If there's a rave, it's probably at Naked Guy's house, but I haven't seen
Or on
him
the
in a
balcony.
while. I don't
No,
know
he's
where-
been out. He's been out.
He's been out there?
Yeah, he's been out. He's
Sun's
more of
out,
a
Naked Guy's
it's-
out.
You guys are doing the late night shows, so it's like sun's already going down.
what?
It's colder. He's out. He's out more during the Bulls time.
Collada's asking for 2 hours and 30 minutes. How about we get a 2-hour game tonight? How about we do that?
Sox?
It would only
Sox
be
were close
it would
up.
be in favor of the pitch doctor because if it's a 2-hour game, that means we got a pitching duel.
That's right.
That's
I mean,
right.
I think the Sox
take
were
it.
close to
And then
like
Brennan will sit here and talk
under
about
two.
why
They were
Justin
real close.
Steele was
Like
so
an hour
bad.
and 50
They
last
might have been
night.
under
That's
2
right.
hours. Yeah.
He'd do it
Chuck that
for. You could do it like for 2 hours, and
Listen,
after
if you
the
keep the
post game,
cameras on, I'll be here till 3 a.m.
Jack
Just
wanted
me.
us to do a live stream during the game. We probably should have done that tonight.
We've
be
done
fun.
that before. It actually was the birthplace of one of the best gifts of CHGO Cubs history, which is Thickmeyer dancing with the
When
donuts.
the Do-Right donut showed up.
yeah.
Which were ordered by yours truly, but
I told Luke he's got to start tweeting that video every time the Cubs win, or that GIF. I mean,
it's a
Yeah.
beautiful gift. It's a beautiful moment in CHGO history.
Oh, I like me a good
the
Do-Right.
real OGs know all about it. They'll see it eventually.
You'll see it. My name's not Steve. Thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs pregame show presented by DraftKings, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up. Find our Twitter handle, CHGO Cubs. Tweet us who you think is going to be the Who You Got player of the game. Sponsored by DraftKings, by the way. And let us know, and we'll see you back here for the postgame show. Yes,
Yes.
the pitch doctor
He'll
will
be
be
here.
here after the game as well.
Woo!
Until
Fun.
then,
They better
fly
win.
the W.
They better win. That's all I got to say, man.